Hello friends, good evening. Welcome to Astra, the daily current affairs from the Hindu. Today it is 29th. Let me quickly go ahead with what are the things that you have to focus in the Hindu as far as UPSC current affairs is considered. So in the front page, Delhi police registers 2 FIRs in wrestler's case. This can be used in essay writing and ethics because the women wrestlers have been fighting for justice from long time. After Supreme Court has asked the government to file FIR against the former wrestling championship leader, it was done. That is, they have filed a petition against BJP MP and former Wrestling Federation Indian President Bhushan Sharan Singh. What is the government response in this case? The government has responded systematically. First, they have formed a committee to look into this matter headed by Mary Com. But the women wrestlers were unhappy. As a result, they have registered an FIR. And this is very unfortunate because unless and until it was said by the Supreme Court, this is the first action that they should have done. They have not done it. So this is first important thing that you can write as far as law and order is considered in GS paper 4. India airlifts 754 citizens from war-torn Sudan. So this is because of recently the Sudan crisis have occurred. In this context, they have been lifting these persons. Particularly, there is a tribe called Hakki Pikki tribe from Karnataka who were caught here. As a result, they were lifting them. Very important for prelims. Hakki Pikki tribes are present. Hakki means birds, Pikki means picking. So they are bird catchers of Karnataka and now they are lifting. There is also one more prelims question. What is this operation is called? So this operation is called Operation Kaveri. So lifting of the persons from Sudan is called Operation Kaveri. So remember these two things, that is important for prelims. Next one, fix accountability and supporters of terrorism in order to control the so-called internal security issues. The defense minister has said that we have to fix accountability on those who are supporting terrorism. This was said by our foreign minister, defense minister in recent Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit which was held. Now Shanghai Cooperation Organization, there is one branch which will discuss us with the terrorism, that is called RATS, Regional Anti-Terrorism Squad, which is related to SCO, and all the members of the SCO countries are members of this RATS, and in this they have said that we have to fight terrorism at the regional level altogether. So this is some new developments which are coming. So these are three important from the front page. So the next pages, you do not have much relevance news as far as Telangana is considered. In South India also, you do not have much one. Next one that you have is in the editorial page, the reservation on women's bill. Women's reservation bill cannot wait any longer. A very beautiful article was written by Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson saying that there is an ample evidence that was set by the women that unless and until they take part in policy making, their issues cannot be overcome, and they have shown a remarkable leadership in whenever they are heading this political sphere. So 75 years of independence has happened. We have witnessed even the 75 years of independence. Parliamentary is still holding just 14% of the women's seats. Though we have reservations in the local self-governments of not less than 1/3, this is not reflected in the state legislatures as well as in the parliament. So today, the latest Lok Sabha has less than 14% of reservations, and this is a very regressive thing. Particularly, the regression is going to be very, very huge because recently in the northeastern states, the first woman MLA was elected after many years. That is first thing, and the second thing is even in Uttar Pradesh or in Bihar, the amount of participation of women is very, very less. So by breaking these barriers, there are some people who have emerged to be victorious, and particularly the female representatives are coming out in this branch or in this belt. If you look at West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh, because they were dominated by women chief ministers. West Bengal, Mayawati; Tamil Nadu is Jayalalitha; Uttar Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh is Mayawati and West Bengal is Mamata Banerjee. These are the persons who has that. Along with this, in Uttar Pradesh, Sushma Swaraj is the opposition leader, and she has also headed the so-called foreign affairs minister. And then you had Sonia Gandhi, who is also the head of Congress. So all these persons, along with Pratibha Singh Patil, has come out from this line. So Uttar Pradesh, which is known as patriarchal system, has broken down this, and it has shown that women can do a lot whenever it is coming into the picture. Now, what is the story about women's reservations? Women's reservations are traced back to 1955, when government appointed a committee to look into 10% of seats for women in Lok Sabha. At that time, they started asking 10%, but after 1992, not less than 1/3 of the total seats should be given. So they started asking for not less than 30 seats in women's representation. So the first thing, in 1955, they asked for 10%. In the 1980s, the National Perspective Plan recommended that women should be given 30% of seats in the local body elections. Now, this recommendation was reiterated by National Policy on Empowerment of Women in the year 2001. Hence, the 1993 Panchayat Raj Act, which has given 33% of seats to the local bodies, have been reiterated to be coming up in the so-called Lok Sabha and state level elections. In the year 1996, there was the first bill that was moved on women's reservation in the Lok Sabha. This bill was proposed to give 1/3 of the seats, just like your panchayats and municipalities in a state legislative assembly and parliament. However, there was a strong opposition to this. As a result, women reservation bill was not passed. Right? So this showed that these people wants to get this at a very higher level. Now, across the globe also, they have given some examples. Across the globe, there are some best examples which says that whenever women are playing a very crucial role in the policy making, the policies and good governance structures are going to be built up. It is going to contribute for gender equality and women empowerment, along with the so-called many countries who are having best policies and governance. For example, Rwanda is a state in Africa, a Central African country which was known for genocide. What is genocide? Attacking on a particular race, right, is genocide, or being healed predominantly by the leadership that women has carried. Hence, Rwanda is the best example where women, if they are drawn into policy making, they will be having sustainable impact. Similarly, Norway in the year 2003 introduced quota system of 40% of seats for women. As a result, Norway has been the leading sector in policy making. Similarly, India, which is hailed as the mother of democracy, to ensure that in this Amrit Kal, we are going to represent Baba Saheb Ambedkar's dream of women empowerment. So it can be got through the so-called women reservation system. Now, equality cannot wait any longer, because there is no equal representation with mere 14% of reservations or 14% of representations. Equality is not ensured. Hence, in order to get that equality, women leadership qualities has to be utilized, and they have to be made a part of reservation system. So this is the article that you have to read, where they have given what is the importance, how the bills have evolved, and how we can take care. IPL, an opportunity to bat the so-called climate change. Now what they are saying is, so they are saying that how the climate change action can be led by IPL. Now look at this, what they are saying. IPL provides an unique opportunity to take a lead in the promoting climate action. How? By prioritizing sustainability. By promoting education and awareness around environmental issues, IPL can encourage healthier, more sustainable and lifestyle environment. Now how exactly IPL can do? IPL can do in 2 or 3 forms. First form is, many people are watching this IPL to the highest level. Hence, when you are watching, a simple replacement of television sets to the LCDs and LEDs. LCDs and LEDs is going to consume or going to save your consumption power. As a result, whenever you are watching these type of cricket matches, if you are shifting to cost-effective alternatives like LCD and LED, it is going to save energy. Right? This is the first one. And the next one, if people are going to shift to this, it is also going to save their electrical energy consumption. So whatever the games that India has relevance, we have to start promoting it. And we all know what is our contributions. India has committed to net zero emissions by 2070 and has also committed to reduce the emission intensity to GDP by 40%, 45% by 2030. So an examination of the environmental impact of India's biggest summer festival is going to help us. So in order to achieve this, this is going to be very, very mandatory. So in short, what it is telling is IPL can be a pioneer in tackling this climate change issue in 2 or 3 domains. One domain is changing the energy utilization pattern. The second thing is, as IPL is being watched by many people, right, you can also spread awareness by using this transition by this game. This is what they are speaking. Just remember what is India's commitment for this. Next one, in the editorial, they have given one editorial called None Too Soon. Delay in conveying decision as assent to bills is constitutionally impermissible. This is in the context of the Supreme Court recent decisions on hearing the State Assembly to consider or reconsider the bills as soon as possible. The controversy between the federal system of government in India is between the state legislature as well as governor. Whenever a bill is passed by the state legislature under Article 200 of Indian Constitution, it has to give or it has to be decided by the so-called governor. Right? Once the governor is deciding about the bill, there is no clause on the governor to pass the bill or to reject the bill as early as possible. As a result, governors are unduly exercising their powers under Article 200 and they are stopping the bills to be passed. It was clearly visible in the latest examples of Telangana, where Telangana governor has rejected or stopped many bills. It was the same case in Tamil Nadu. It was the same case in many southern Indian states, where there is some tussle between governor as well as the state legislature. Hence, government power to withhold assent or return a bill for reconsideration is seen as discretionary. So withholding the assent means either you reject it or you pass it or you return it as early as possible. What it is telling is the governor hence should be given a time frame in which he has to pass the bill within a time frame. Again, Article 163 says that the governor has to function on the aid and advice of Council of Ministers or headed by the Chief Minister. Now, all this aid and advice is given to the Chief Minister, but during this period, that is Article 200, governor is not using its discretion or governor is using its discretion to overcome Article 163. As a result, Supreme Court said that you have to keep these discretionary powers under check. A very good article was written. Again, this is one article to read. Tackling the threat, it is related to the so-called Korean Peninsula politics which is happening. What is the politics? Recently, the US and South Korea has entered into 70th anniversary of their North Korean or South Korean alliance, right? So they sang American Pie at the White House, but also sealed an important cooperation agreement with the American counterpart Joe Biden to protect the Korean Peninsula from nuclear attack of North Korea, right? So under the new pact, so they have made a new pact where US strategic assets will be developed around Korean Peninsula and a joint nuclear consultative group will be formed between between South Korea and USA in order to ensure that the hostile activities of North Korea is under control. Now this is flowing a clear message that America is excessively involving in the North Korea and South Korea debate, and now America is sending its nuclear armed submarines to the region. After 40 years, America is sending this tactical nuclear measures. Now, this is something which is against North Korea's sovereignty. North Korea is very aggressive on this. As a result, North Korea is wholly or largely dismantling it or not supporting it. Now, what did the recent Joe Biden's remark is? A nuclear attack by North Korea against the US or allies is unacceptable and will result in the end of what a regime will take an action. So this was similar to former US President Donald Trump has made in a similar context. What it is asking is, if North Korea is going to make an attack, then that we are going to counter attack. So this type of nuclear deterrence is not going to work. What is deterrence? Deterrence is stopping the other person from entering or from doing mischievous things. So what South Korea is doing is, as North Korea is developing nuclear powers or nuclear bombs, South Korea wants to deter North Korea by taking the help of America. However, when the globe is going into this turmoil, nuclear deterrence may not work. Negotiations will work. So don't fight unnecessarily. Give way to peace in South Korea by negotiations, so that rather than going for nuclear weapons, you can de-escalate the war. Because after Russia-Ukraine war, this is the second thing that is happening here, along with the so-called the powers of Ukraine and Russia, along with China and Taiwan. So this is the third problem which is emerging. Next one is the growing problem of substance abuse in Jammu and Kashmir. With official figures confirming anecdotal evidence of growing substance abuse in Jammu and Kashmir, doctors, school authorities and the administration are searching for ways to curb the availability of use of drugs. So there has been some drug abuse which is happening in Jammu and Kashmir. Now it is in the rise, hence they wanted to control it. So this was the spotlight article. School students as well as staff should be screened multiple times a year. This will help them to detect if there are any threats of drug abuse at the school level. We saw a pattern where a drug addict marries another drug abuser once they consume drugs in peer groups. So as a result, as a family, it is developing. Hence, this is a very great challenge for the Indian administration, particularly in and around Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir. This has to be tackled. So in this news, a fight to secure strongholds against Karnataka. This is Karnataka polls, not important. Bansha Adityanath from campaigning. So this was asked by Congress to Election Commission. Leave it, not important. Now, there was some intervention by Supreme Court into the human rights violations that was conducted through the so-called the death of Atif Ahmad here. Supreme Court asked UP police why Atif was paraded to hospital. They seek report why they were done. Now 121 people were rescued from unprepared airstrip. Very great thing was coming under Operation Kaveri. We have prepared them. This is we have excavated them. This is we have evacuated thing. This is a great thing. Drone dropped bullets, IED for Poonch strike. Now, misuse of technology by the terrorists is this. Drone dropped bullets and IED, as a result, technology being misused in the Poonch attacks. Next one is, the West has failed to pressure countries to isolate Russia. This was a great news that is coming from USA. So the West has clearly failed to isolate Russia because Russia was in a very good position today and enjoying the support of many countries. Now this principled position and support was got by Russia. Now NATO chief, North Atlantic Treaty Organization chief has said that this is utterly failed. As a result of failing this, some organizations like Quad and the AUKUS into the military alliance, it is also facing some challenges. Now people are not believing in these organizations like Quad and AUKUS because the West has failed in the Indo-Pacific or in the so-called Ukraine-Russia war. As a result, this is to be seen in that context. Next one. Register FIRs against hate speech even without fines, says Supreme Court, in order to detect or in order to deter the hate speech that is happening in the country. Country's core sector output dipped to 5% low. Again, a very bad news, because core sector is not performing. In this context, we have to know what is core sector and how it is going to have some impacts. US wants to de-risk, not decouple from China, says National Security Advisor. This is something which is coming from India, US and China's relations. So US and China's relations are deteriorating, but however, US is not ready to completely snap off its ties with China. Rather, it want to ensure that the risks are de-escalated, but they wanted no decouple. Now, government names Mohanty as LIC chairperson and first CEO. Company veteran Wilhelm, insurer at a time when it has to cope up with intensified competition. LIC faces shareholder scrutiny. So Mohanty was appointed. Appointments Committee of Cabinet has approved, has appointed Siddhartha Mohanty as the chairman of LIC. Now, this is going to play a very crucial role in the making and breaking of LIC. A very able administrator was kept for LIC. Now we have to see how far that is going to go. This is weekend sport, not important for Astra. Thanks for joining. This is what you have to look. Have a great day.